At one time, Jeremy Lin was one of the most popular players in the entire NBA. But long gone are the days of Linsanity, and the Harvard graduate actually found himself out of the league after winning a championship in 2019 as an end-of-bench player with the Toronto Raptors. Lin is looking to make his way back into the NBA, and all signs point to the Golden State Warriors soon becoming his new home. Today, we will take a look at what the potential addition of Jeremy Lin to the Golden State Warriors means both for him and for the team. But before we do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's been almost a full decade since Linsanity was first born. Jeremy Lin became an overnight sensation by pure coincidence, and his stock rose faster than that of GameStop this past month. But the hype didn't take long to cool off, as Lin had unsuccessful ensuing stops with the Houston Rockets and the Los Angeles Lakers, where he was unable to reiterate his old Linsanity form. He became more of a role player rather than the star many thought he was. Sure, he had some hot games every now and then, there's no denying he can score, but he fell way short of expectations. After spending one season in Charlotte, Lin went over to the Brooklyn Nets for another year before disappearing for one full season. He returned to the NBA after signing with the Atlanta Hawks in the summer of 2018, but the team waived him midway through the season. Lin then signed with the Toronto Raptors for the rest of the year, played a total of 27 playoff minutes, and claimed his ring as a bench member of the championship-winning Raptors. The following summer was rough. After the season, I had to get ready for this Asia trip, and it was the last thing I wanted to do, Lin said, because I knew for 6 weeks I would just have to put on a smile. I would have to talk about a championship that I don't feel like I really earned. I would have to talk about a basketball future I don't know if I want to have. And honestly, it's just embarrassing. It's tough. Lin patiently waited for an NBA team to call his number, but the calls never came. He ran out of options and signed a one-year, $3 million deal with the Chinese Basketball Association's Beijing Ducks. He would go to China and become far and away the biggest star in the league, both talent and popularity-wise. But that didn't fill him. In English, there's a saying, and it says once you hit rock bottom, the only way is up, Lin said while in tears during a motivational speech on a Taiwanese TV transmission. But rock bottom just seems to keep getting more and more rock bottom for me. Free agency has been tough because I feel like in some ways the NBA's kind of given up on me. Lin has faced an uphill battle for quite some time, a battle that started way before he went undrafted in 2010. When I was growing up in the US playing basketball, all anybody ever wanted to talk about was, "Oh, that dude's Chinese. That's a Chinese basketball player," Lin said. "I was never an American basketball player. I was never just a basketball player. I was always, that's a Chinese dude. That's a Chinese basketball player. So for me, I've always known that my journey, in some ways, would end in China." Thus, Lin embraced the challenge to become a star in China. He finished his season averaging 22.3 points, 5.7 rebounds, 5.6 assists, and 1.8 steals on 49.1% shooting from the field. He also ended up as a finalist for the Defensive Player of the Year award, which says a lot considering Lin has never been considered even an above-average defender in America. Despite a successful season in China, Lin was hell-bent on returning to the NBA. No teams were calling now either, so he assumed the best way to put himself in front of NBA executives was through the G League. And thanks to a recently approved rule that allows G League teams to designate a 5-year NBA veteran to their roster, Lin signed a contract with the Santa Cruz Warriors. The circumstances of play, however, are very different. Amid the COVID pandemic, the G League decided to create its own Walt Disney bubble and conduct a 15-game regular season among teams invited. Twitter trolls may view this as another Mickey Mouse season, but for Jeremy Lin, it's the difference between making it back to the NBA and having his dreams crushed. Through the Warriors' first 6 games, he's looked impressive. Lin is averaging 19.6 points, 7.2 assists, and 1.6 steals while shooting 48.3% from the field and a ridiculous 48.4% from three-point range on 6.2 attempts a night. Numbers won't show it fully, but Lin has a very strong case for an NBA roster spot. For starters, he's hitting threes at an elite rate. You obviously can't expect him to sustain his current three-point shooting numbers, but even a 38 to 40-ish mark is more than enough for him to be a serviceable role player. Shooting is arguably the most sought-after skill in today's game, and teams are always looking for extra shooters. Some front offices are even willing to pay extra if the shooting is good enough. Lin is a 34.2% career three-point shooter, so watching him make threes at a much better rate today is very encouraging. He's also looking much improved on the defensive end. As we said earlier, he has never been known for defense, and he won't be a DPOY candidate in the NBA, but for a relatively small player with a thin frame, Lin sure keeps himself busy in passing lanes and usually holds his own against most matchups. Finally, he's looking like a complete point guard. Lin has always been more of a score-first than a pass-first point guard, but he's making impressive passes with quick reads and displaying an also improved court vision. The two things holding Lin back are, one, his high turnover tendency, which is a deal-breaker for most bench guards as coaches don't want backup PGs losing the ball at the rate of a star player, and two, his health. Multiple injuries were the ultimate reason Lin struggled to find consistency in the NBA, even as a role player. He already missed one of the Warriors' first 6 games, so NBA teams will certainly keep his health in mind before making a move. A team that has him on their radar is the Golden State Warriors, not only because Lin plays for their G League affiliate, but because there was already interest on a reunion prior to him signing with Santa Cruz. The Warriors signed Lin off free agency after he went undrafted in 2010, and we could be nearing a reunion soon. The Warriors have always been much worse when Steph Curry sits on the bench than when he plays, but the Dubs' bench results have taken it to a whole new level of bad this season. Brad Wanamaker isn't giving head coach Steve Kerr the results he expected from a backup point guard, and the team doesn't have any other capable playmakers at the guard spots. They're instead loaded with scoring first guards. Enter Lin, who, as we saw, is an improved playmaker. Plus, he's also an additional scoring threat the Warriors can have out there to avoid the usual catastrophe that happens while Curry sits. Lin has everything the Warriors are looking for, especially on a season where their roster is very limited. He brings shooting, veteran experience, and more than anything else, passion and desire. People have called him crazy for leaving a superstar life in China behind, as well as more money. But that's not what he's seeking. I truly believe that I am an NBA player, but I'm not in it for the money, the clout, the fame, or any of that, Lin said. I want to be able to make a difference. I want to bring glory to God through basketball. Hunger is the most powerful fuel. Lin has a lot of it, and he's already brought the spotlight back to him with standout G League performances. So it looks like it's only a matter of time before Lin goes from the Santa Cruz Warriors to the Golden State Warriors. Do you think Lin will make it to Golden State this year? Could his arrival really make a difference? Let us know in the comments down below, and once again, make sure to leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching another Swish Central video, and join us next time for more NBA basketball content.